One of the hard-hit areas after the flood is Sioux City's Railroad Museum, waking up the day after the floods to chest-high levels of water, submerging some of the most historic pieces of machinery at the museum. KTIV's Taylor Deckard has a look at how they are working diligently to get the campus back open to the public.
See here is this is our engine 1355. Where we're standing, water was in this building chest high.
When the floodwaters receded, the museum grounds were covered with corn stalks, timber, and debris, now piled up high after cleanup.
It's been 56 days since the floodwaters have taken over the campus of the Sioux City Railroad Museum, but there's been a handful of volunteers ranging in age from 68 to 88 to have all hands on deck for cleanup.
Just wherever we were needed was where we spent the time.
Meet Bob Sweeney and John Wagoner. How long have you been a volunteer?
40 years. We both have. Yeah. We're part of the original 5.
Two of the original volunteers who signed up to help when the Railroad Museum opened to the public 40 years ago. They were a part of the move to get the Colas engine from St. Louis to Sioux City, now sludged with mud.
Just heartbreaking because we huge investment in time and effort that we've put into the central artifact in the building. And it's a steam engine that driving a ammonia compressor.
The Farmer Machine Shop was where the water was the last to recede, still leaving a watermark on the side of the building.
Be a demarcation line right there, that dark space. Yeah.
These men have put in countless hours, not only after the flooding, but before as well, being some of the hands that make the magic at the museum.
Always had a lot of use for wire brush. These wire brushes, and we can clean parts off while we're cleaning tools now.
We were running equipment, trying to get large debris moved around, brush. Corn stalks were huge. We spent a lot of time at the entrance to the facility cleaning up corn stalks out of the fence so we could get into the facility.
And the head gardener is working to re-beautify the grounds.
All of our plants were flattened, so I came in, I bet I picked up at least 1,000 pieces of 3-inch corn cobs and corn stalks, and then I started cutting back the plants that all the leaves were just covered in mud.
A fan favorite is the building, home to the model trains.
It was all mud, about a foot of water in here, and it soaked it up and it really got moldy.
Luckily, those trains were up off the ground, but still had to be removed for the cleanup process. The waters created nearly $1.5 million worth of damage.
Another $500,000 to $750,000 worth of uninsurable contents. So we're looking at almost $2 million or better of damage here.
These men and women volunteering have made great strides getting a grasp on the mess.
Plugging away at it as best we can. And anybody that would like to help or anybody that would like to come out and donate any time or anything like that, it'd be appreciated.
We've come a long way. We still have a long way to go.
In Sioux City, Taylor Deckard, KTIV News 4.
They have a goal to be open by mid-October for their annual event, Halloween at the Roundhouse. The museum is always looking for volunteers. They're working on the grounds every Saturday if you want to show up and help. And stay tuned for announcements of upcoming fundraisers.